don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome to Swift Current Saskatchewan. It's the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. It's the women's final between Team Xenia Schwaller and Team Michelle Englot. Let's take a look at the lineups here. First for Team Schwaller, her coach is Andrea Schwaller. Selena Reichinger is the lead. Fabienne Reiter the second, Selena Gaffner the third, and the skip throwing fourth, Xenia Schwaller. For Michelle Englot, the skipper, Michelle, she throws the lead stones. Ashley Williamson throws second. Sarah England at third, and Stephanie Schmidt throws the final stones. 17 teams joined us this weekend, fighting for a purse of $50,000, and it has come down to these two squads right now. I'm Dave Schmel. I'm joined by Shawn, Joyce, and Shawn, we look at a Schwaller team that has not lost here yet.
Yeah, both of these teams were actually in the event last weekend in Swift Current, so it's been a long time in Swift Current for both of them. But for Schwaller in particular, she qualified through the A last weekend, went on to win the Bonspiel, so went through undefeated, qualified through the A again this weekend, and by virtue of that A event win, she's got the last rock here in the opening end to play. And trying to go through undefeated again, playing in the final, I do understand that if they win this game, then sometime tomorrow they're going to start lobbying the Swiss Curling Federation to have their national championships in Swift Current. I don't know how well that's going to go over, but you know, you can understand they might want to try that. They haven't lost here yet.
That would sound like a good idea. Well, it's possible the Swiss could be neutral to the idea.
Well, some of them could be. I don't know if Silvana Terenzoni would be all in favor of it.
So we see the corner guard go up, and Englot is going to call for the center.
Yeah, the play started out in the rings, but we've seen this. We see it actually a lot with Englot's team, and I'm trying to think back. This might be the first time I've done Schwaller's this weekend. I did do a few of their games last weekend, but you play the hit on that stone in the forefoot on the first one and then throw the corner guard on the second one. It means you've got one fewer rocks that you have to deal with in the middle later on. Throwing the guard now. They did get a piece of that stone covered, but that was the fifth stone of the end. They could make a play on the guard now if they so wanted. Just got most of it available. Boy, definitely needs to hold the shooter here. That's a good guard. If you roll out, that gives Michelle a chance to try to come around.
And she will have that opportunity to do that and lie too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good guard. It's got a piece of the center line. You bury top button here, it's a steal opportunity already in the first end.
That one gets half under cover.
Yeah, nice weight. It just didn't get the finish. And that is something we've noticed throughout the day today, that the rocks have started to straighten out a little bit. It's one of the side effects of an event that starts Thursday morning. Yes, they probably conditioned the rocks before we started, but it's been a lot of times up and down the sheet since then. Not quite as much finish today as there was earlier in the week. The chase doesn't get by and actually pushes that yellow, I think, into the rings.
It does look like it may have slipped in there. Just looking for the guard here. They had to stop brushing because it's in danger of over curling. It's left a sliver of that rock, and with the finish, you might be able to get to it. It's that or the double peel. That's the two options she's laid out. They're going to play the double peel. Hit it right, you could get that red coming back into the rings. You might make the shot stone go away. If you're greedy, you might make the shot stone go away and roll in behind the corner guards. Absolutely, indeed. They do get the shots moving.
I don't see a blank coming here.
Now there's a good chance of that for sure. So here's Sarah England.
Looking for another guard, but this is going to be deep. Needs to stop. Looking for the double off the top two and carry through. I think it's more important to get the shot rock right now. You're on third's last stone here. Tough to get the double and carry through enough to be second.
Moving some granite here. Get to him to go. It comes straight back. Hang around. hanger comes to the back 8 foot. Englot 1 and looks like 2.
Yeah, hard to tell. You'd need the overhead view. We are having some technical issues here early on in this women's final.
The last rock thrower for Team Englot.
Looking for the guard once again. This is out there a bit. Needs to close the gap. I don't think it's going to. There's a double available on the yellows in the rings to sit 2. Well, that looks like she's playing it fairly quiet. They might already be second at the back if she's just playing the hit and roll in behind the corner.
That is quite possible for sure.
There's the overhead. No, the yellow's second. It is thin for the double, and that might be what she's thinking. We'll just play the hit and roll. You don't want to completely miss the second one.
Yeah, be safe.
Get the roll in behind the corner. You got a chance to get your deuce here at least.
Schwaller with her first.
Not going to get by the guard. But she does hang around for a bite.
So Englot still sitting 2.
I think the call's still just a straight guard. You could make an argument where it might not be a bad thing to come full 8 foot on this. Come full 8 foot, you sit 3. What does she do?
Stephanie Schmidt with her final stone.
Left room to get to it, but definitely showed her the right side. This is only a shot for 1, and it's still not a gimme.
We know that for sure.
She's got to move it. She's got to be careful, though, as well. You hit this a little thin. You don't have a lot of room to roll out.
Could give up 2 real quick.
Good.
So Xenia Schwaller, final stone in the first.
Sweeping for curl now, and I don't know if they've got the weight to move it.
They do move it, but not far enough. It's a steal 1 for Englot. They take the advantage as we head to end number 2. We'll be right back on Curling Stadium.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you
Welcome back, everyone, or perhaps I should say welcome for the first time. We had some technical issues in the first end. Not sure whether anybody saw anything. We've got the women's final here. Xenia Schwaller against Michelle Englot.
Yes, we do, Shawn. And it was a steal 1 for Englot there in the first end.
You're just going to have to take our word for it.
There were many rocks thrown. They were made of lovely granite. The outside was Treffer and blue hone was the running surface. They were delivered with a variety of turns, both the in-turn and an out-turn. But ultimately, Xenia Schwaller had to move an Englot stone off the top 4 foot and just didn't have the mustard to do it. And it resulted in a steal 1. That's the Cliff Notes version.
Attempting the delayed corner guard tactic here in the second end, and that one's going to slide into the ring. So much for your corner guard.
Instead of a delayed corner guard, you're going to be looking at 2. And we had mentioned to ourselves earlier that Xenia Schwaller has taken a liking to Swift Current.
Yes. I don't know. Should I repeat the same joke? I had a good one and nobody got to hear it.
Oh, I think we should give it another chance. I mean, has she lost yet here?
No, she has. Both of these teams actually were playing here last weekend, and that was the thing we mentioned off the start before we realized that we were not on the air. Both of these teams played in the event last weekend and are still here playing in the final today. But Xenia Schwaller in particular qualified through the A last weekend and went on to win the Bonspiel, qualified through the A this weekend. By virtue that had last rock in the first end of play, she has yet to lose here in Swift Current, and I suggested that perhaps starting sometime tomorrow, if she wins this game, she's going to be lobbying the Swiss Curling Federation to have their national championships held in Swift Current. I'm Not sure if that's going to work or not, but I wish her the best of luck. I know one thing, Chris Eichert, a buddy of mine, is the manager at the Swift Current Curling Club, and I'm sure he'd be open to it.
And let's take a moment to acknowledge the effort that the Swift Current community and the Swift Current Curling Club have put into this to open up your building and your club for 2 weeks for bonspiels. That's obviously a significant inconvenience to your membership, and really shows the commitment that they have and the support that the fan base has shown there. We've had great crowds on the ice all the time, and in the warm room, in the gallery upstairs. Fantastic support here from Swift Current.
Well, Schwaller's got some rocks to work with now. I'm a little surprised that Shell didn't walk up and peel the corner guard there. She threw another center. She can come around the corner. She can freeze to the back ones. She's looked at both of those. Going to play the freeze. They jumped the brush right out of her hand. This might be light. If it's going to be light, you might want to leave it up high enough you can use it as a corner guard.
They do bring it in, and it's going to be second shot. So Englot's going to hit and roll towards her center here.
Yeah, she wouldn't mind losing one of those yellows back there, too. That pocket's really not helping her.
Certainly not. So here's Sarah England trying to carve this one over. We've seen plenty of movement towards the outside of the sheet all weekend long, but not that time. Shot stone belongs to Schwaller.
No, it doesn't. She did stay for shot.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And that's why Schwaller's looking at playing something over here. I'm not sure that I'd be playing the red, though. Got to hold the shooter here if you're going to play this. Could go around the corner on the other side and leave this for later, too.
I was going to say it's been a long day, but it's been a longer day for you. Game number 5 on the mic today.
Yes.
Sounded like a good idea the other day.
Well, if I'm honest about it, it never sounded like a good idea, but it was one of those things that sounded like, well, it'd be fun to be able to say, down the road that, I did 5 games in a day once. I knew it wasn't going to be fun today, and of course, I didn't have any short ones today. I've had an extra end. Everything's gone right down to the wire, which is nice when you're calling it, at least. I haven't had any lopsided games that are a struggle to call, and that's a testament to how well the curling has been today. You kind of expect that on Sunday, though. Usually that's championship day for a lot of events. It is here for the women. And the men are all chasing the last couple of bursts. It's been some well-played games today.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of them have been a treat to watch. So now, Englot can throw the double on these two here.
Yeah, it's thin.
It's certainly worth taking on. Holding this one now.
Yeah, they ended up playing the other double and weren't going to get the red again. So come off their own, get the red that way and still end up kind of cornered in behind the red. They're still shot rock. You know, I don't see a blank coming here. If you're playing anything on the red one, you're going to have a hard time not grouping your stones. I just assume come around the corner guard for now. You can be shot around the corner, and there might be some kind of double to that back yellow for 3 later on. Pretty risky for Michelle to hit it where it is. I mean, she might, but if she's just going to pick it, well, let her come around the corner guard, let her pick it, come around the corner guard again.
See this one coming down. It comes in contact with their own and spins back and maybe shot stone. It's very close.
Yeah, I think it's the red. Red's probably shot, but you know, if you come down, hit the open stone, and roll a little bit to the inside, you're going to nudge the yellow in for shot. They're going to play the straight draw around the center.
So Stephanie Schmidt, who throws the last stones for Team Englot.
Both pressures down. It's got room by the guard.
It is by the guard, no problem. Now they're going to try to walk it over. And walk it over they do, and they walk it right to the tee line. So they're also going to study it to see who's shot here. We're operating under the assumption that's red, and so are they.
I'll tell you what, I'm operating under the assumption that yellow is shot. It's sitting on the button. Red might be second.
Second shot up.
Yeah, I don't know what they're looking over there for. You have to deal with the one in the middle. So.
Fair enough, buddy. Fair enough. You got me.
Well, it's just like, what are you looking over there for? You've got no shot over there. They're going to play the run back. Probably trying to run it to the center line side of the stone on the button area. If you run it to the other side, it's coming over into those rocks at the side and probably stays there for shot.
So Schwaller trying to make this run, and right off the bat,
wrong side.
It is on the wrong side. That leaves Englot sitting too.
And a chance to come around again.
So Team Englot keeping the pressure on Schwaller here. They've had the pressure on them for some time now, having qualified through the sea. This is their 9th game of the weekend. Schmidt with her last.
There's both pressures on it early again, but still a lot of room by the guard. They got to bury this.
Needs to get it at least a good bit under, and they won't.
You know what? It's not bad where it is. If you hit that on the nose, you're not shot rock. You try to hit and roll in off the yellow, you've got to jam it. So if you ever roll too far, this could be a steal of 2. Going to hit the one on the tee line, try to roll into the 4-foot. That one on the tee line, if you're going to make the roll, the one on the tee line is coming off the yellow at the back 8. It's going to stay in the rings. Especially if you were ever to over curl this enough to roll out. They've got to be careful with this.
So, final stone of the second end. Xenia Schwaller facing 3.
That is a lot of weight, and it's still out there.
They are sweeping it to curl. I don't think this is coming back, and it does not. And it's a steal of 1 for Michelle Englot. They have a 2-0 advantage. Schwaller has the hammer when we come back in 3. From Swift Current, you're watching Curling Stadium.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts Charity Bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread joy.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome back to Swift Current. It's the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown.
And the Schwaller team continuing to struggle with corner guards. That one's into the rings. The teams agreed. Xenia doesn't look very happy about it, but she did agree.
So Michelle Englot getting the throw of the hit here. This one curling quite a bit. Hit and stick right there.
Yeah, you want to guard the guard here so she can't peel it off.
Yep, it's perfect call there. Absolutely.
Maybe a sliver to the center line side of it. You want a little stagger doesn't do you any harm on a corner guard.
Oh, absolutely.
Brushers are standing up very straight again.
Yeah, they are at attention here, indicating that this needs to stop. It does.
Yeah, tighter than they would have liked, but it does give them an overlap on that corner if they can get around something.
Yeah, they get a little wing there for sure. We're here in the women's finals. 17 teams start this weekend on Thursday, fighting for a purse of $50,000, and we're down to just these two. This is going to overcurl just a skosh, but it does cover up most of their shot stone. But the little tap and roll under is available.
Left the wrong side if you were going to leave part of it open. Yeah, I'm not sure about this call. You make the double. You're probably rolling out, and there's a pretty good chance Michelle's just going to walk up and peel the corners.
Oh, there's your double.
She does hold the corner guard, though. That was important.
Rolled over and did get the corner night, so that's a very nice shot there by Ryder.
I thought briefly about the double peel across, but you can't get all three of them anyway, so you're still going to leave guards out there.
So electing instead to come on into the 4-foot. It's Ashley Williamson. Little wick there.
Yeah, it's just a little light, really.
Schwaller's going to try to take on the hit and roll.
Yeah, the yellow's in a tough spot to leave it. It's a dangerous stone where it is, pretty tight to the rings and in front of the button.
So that's why you opt to go this way rather than just drawing underneath the wing.
Yeah, you can get a couple of things out of this. Get rid of that dangerous stone. You still could get a biter read behind those staggered corners. This is not a lot of weight.
This is also curling up pretty hard. They're going to get it. Can they get a biter? Oh, they got a little nibbler there. It is underneath the stagger.
Yeah, pretty easy to get rid of it if Michelle wants to play it. You're just not getting a rock in the rings off it, and then Schwaller gets the first chance to come around. Don't like that. You could end up with two reds in the rings. If you're hitting, I think you're playing either the double on the reds, so just off the nose on the outside of the red, try to clip the one in the top 12, or you could slash the yellow in, but you're probably losing it then. Looks like they're lining up the red double. only downside here is that red has to go a long ways across to get all the way out. Now that shouldn't be a problem. Sarah doesn't have a problem throwing the big weight.
So here comes that big weight from Sarah. Question is it online?
Yeah.
Just picks it over the top.
She missed a couple of intern hits last end on the high side. Again, on the high side there, hits a little too thin. Two last end, she hit yellows. That does leave the shot stone open. A chance to come around the corner, though.
So Selena Geffner's got to take that one on. Both brushers on this, coast to coast.
They tried this from the wide side, and it's... I mean, you can get there from the middle. They had to go really wide to try to get around it from that side, and it just looks like it's a lot heavier out there. It didn't even get close to the rings. Xenia Schwaller looks a little frustrated back there, and you know, I get it. They're not exactly playing sharp, but in all fairness, through 3 ends, she's not called a very good game either.
Good brush to get that one by. Nice shot by Sarah.
I think that was Fabian Reeder that stayed down there and told her, let's just play the hit and roll under. Like that wide draw is, I mean, it might be there, but it's really wide. They probably haven't thrown too many draws like that. Not just this weekend, but last week, like in the last 2 weeks. How many draws would they have thrown out that wide?
On this one, right out of hand. Gonna get the hit, but you're gonna lose your shooter. So the struggles continue here for Team Schwaller.
Yep. They still got corner guards to come around. Stephanie Schmidt's going to try to get there first, but again, you're going around the opposition's corner guards. You don't have last rock. It's not the kind of shot you want to play, but it's all she's got to work with right now. You cannot be deep here, and even overburying wouldn't help.
So what depth is ideal? Full 8 maybe? Or
I think so. And you might even be okay with showing her half. You have a 2-point lead here. Like if this overburies, and I don't know if you can today, through most of the event, you got tight by a guard, you could overbury. And if you're overburied by half a rock, she just comes down, sits on the corner of it, and she's still got shot rock buried.
So Schmidt's first is on the way down.
You don't expect to steal coming around a corner guard. This is really more about cutting off the corner guard for the opposition and maybe not giving them the chance to blank.
Get a little bit more under.
That's pretty good.
So think about the hit in the long roll.
Yeah, it's either the hit in the long roll or you try to get close to the nose on it and just tap it to the back 8-foot. You make the hit in the long roll, even if you end up somewhere in the open, there is a chance you're going to get a blank here.
So here's Schwaller with her first. Try to make this one curl.
It's got a lot of rotation. This is going to roll a long ways.
Certainly does. It gears off. It keeps on going. It's going to overbear, but will it spin back a little bit?
It's not bad. She can only see half of it. I mean, if Stephanie makes a run at it and makes the shot, she probably rolls out and you've got an easy blank.
Or you get aggressive and throw the draw and make the force that way, but if you ever miss it, you just hand it to them too.
Yeah. She was just asking them actually which shot they preferred. Don't know if anybody was in the hack when she was asking that to know whether she's guessing at how much she can see. Sometimes you will ask for directions from the hack, just exactly what you can see of that. Stephanie's a good hitter, and she can see just a sliver over half of that. It wouldn't surprise me if she decided to play it.
Lining up for the draw.
Yeah, went down with the intention of seeing playing the draw, and she's still seeing it from the hacks. Brushers feel this might be warm.
They are standing straight up. Well, it's going to be close.
Well, she's got to get by. Line's good.
Settle on in.
Yeah, doesn't want to bounce. Well, you know, it's probably there if you want to take it on. You'll touch the side of the red, but if you get close to the nose, the yellow's probably going farther than the red one is. Now, the problem here for Schwaller, though, is she throws a lot of rotation. She's not going to get the same finish. And she's got to get probably to 2/3. Half, yeah, I'm not sure if half will do it. It might.
So the broom goes down for Schwaller.
She could see just a little less than half. She probably needs to hit just a little more than half if she can. Didn't like it from the hacks, so I think she's playing the draw.
So Xenia Schwaller, after giving up 2 consecutive steals, wants no part of a third and just is electing to draw for her one. Final stone of the third.
Both brushers down early. Now with that extra rotation, this rock will carry.
That's there with no problem, and put one up there for red. It's now 2-1 after 3. We'll be back from Swift Current right to this on Curling Stadium.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Welcome back to Swift Current, RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. It's the women's final. Michelle Englot holds a 2-1 lead. Xenia Schwaller from Switzerland took a single in the fourth, so Englot has a hammer. She's throwing the Yellowstones. Just had a shift change in the house.
Yeah, and I think maybe a little bit discussion about how aggressive they want to play here, but it looks like they're going to make the play on the stone in the rings.
This one is on the outside, and it needs to curl. They're going to get a little piece. Do they get it all the way out? No, they do not. Another one just off the mark for the Schwaller ring.
Yeah, and they were trying to sweep for curl there too, but it's a lot of games in the last 2 weeks, probably getting a little tired. The technique wasn't what it always would have been. If you watched most of those brush strokes, she was barely in front of the rock at all. It's if the rock doesn't go over the path that you're brushing, it really doesn't matter what you do.
So now Englot's going to try to draw underneath cover. Going to bury just a little sliver. A little better than edge on edge.
It's tough to make the hit and stay right there because there is a sliver of it under the guard. They might be looking at the run. Fabian Reeder does throw the second stone, but she's also the vice skip, so she's got a lot of input. And quite honestly, in a lot of cases, a lot of good ideas. They're going to go back to the come around.
Working on bringing this one over.
Yeah, better job on the brush this time.
Little short tap back run here. Doesn't look like it wants to jam in the back.
No, I can't see it jamming in the back. The question will be whether she gets this thick enough. Like you got to flirt with the guard to get the yellow thick enough to dead stick it. And this is out there.
They will not be flirting with the guard.
And just touches it up to the corner of the button.
So that's the opening that Schwaller's been waiting for here. So
it's the fact that there's two biters over there is causing her some problems. Do you really want to ignore two yellow ones? You make the come around. She's going to try the run. If she makes the run double, you're in trouble again.
Yeah, as much as you like seeing yourself dead buried and want to take advantage of it.
You could hit one of those yellows on the outside, try to sit two, and let her play the freeze. I mean, it's not a gimme freeze. She's got to probably move it a little bit to be shot rock. Could just guard. I think that's what Fabienne is looking at. Just guard or just come around high enough that your second shot, but partly undercover, so it kind of acts as a second guard as well.
It's certainly important to realize that even though the game has been not the way Schwaller would have drawn it up, they're still only trailing by one here.
Well, yeah, and at this particular moment in a steal position, it's the two biters that are worrying her. You know, if those yellows aren't over there, you don't worry about coming in. The problem is you're ignoring two yellow stones on the outside to try for a steal, and that can go south on you in a hurry.
This is going to be a very high guard.
Yeah, that's all they were looking for. They expect that, Michelle will try to run the double peel now. You're just hoping she doesn't run the double peel and have it come back and clip the shot stone.
On the one, he make it. Over the top, he made it nice and clean. Did leave yours there, though.
They were kind of hoping if she hit it that way that, because I did see them gesture at it, that it might come towards the yellows. They were kind of hoping one of those would go away, but she gets it over the top.
First for Selena Gaffner. And they get the guard to go back up.
Looking at the run. Straight back, try to double the two reds.
So here's Sarah Miller. On it now. Gonna be pretty close. Made that no problem. Nice shot by Sarah.
Sarah Miller, formerly known as Sarah England, as recently as last end. And then we looked on Facebook and found out that she did get married this summer.
So congratulations.
I feel like it's Jerry's responsibility to keep up to date on these names and have our rosters correct online. Nice come around there. It's just to the back corner of the button, but it's dead buried, kind of centered between the two yellow guards too.
So do you like the chase, or you like trying to push one of your own back?
Yeah, probably the double peel, because there is the chance if you get the first one over the top of the second one, there's a chance it's coming straight back. If you just make the double peel, Schwaller's still got the same problem, and then it's really hard to guard that rock with only one stone. That's been the case all weekend here. It's really tough to throw a guard on an existing rock because it's so easy to overcurl them. Just stuffs the double peel attempt, though.
Did leave a little bit of a guard on there, one on the far wing.
Yeah. I don't think you're worried about hitting those anymore. You
Nope.
probably have to Christmas tree, though. That stone at the back button isn't quite as good to steal with. If you straight guard now, she might chase. So you Christmas tree, you get a partial guard, but you also get something biting the 8-foot, and that takes away those two yellows on the side.
So you see where they want it in the 8-foot.
Yeah, it's that line that's the most important thing. Actually, if your line's perfect, you could bite 4. And if you've got half in behind the guard, the tighter you bring it, the harder it is for Stephanie Schmidt to get at the back one.
So Xenia Schwaller delivers her first stone.
She throws the most rotation of anybody on the sheet. Now that means her rocks can be carried a little bit farther by the brushers. They're going to have to carry this one a fair ways.
And they get far enough.
Yeah, they had to go for the weight, and by doing that, it just overcurled enough that Stephanie can get at the shot stone.
It is fully exposed. Schwaller is second. A little hit and roll over here.
Yeah, tough to get to the inside of it. You roll to the outside, you're getting forced. If you were ever brave enough to freeze to it, that might be how you make sure you score.
I think we've seen enough finish that you can get across the face here.
It's only about edge to edge with the stone in the 12-foot.
I'm taking the make here, buddy. I'll bet you 3 attaboys.
Here's the question I got for you. If you make the hit roll into the open and Xenia Schwaller tries to hit it, never rolls out, Do you play the run back for 3?
In a word, yes.
Because to me, that's the main reason to hit this.
Well, they stayed open, so you get those attaboys later.
Not only stayed open, but has left it as a short run to get in behind cover in front of the tee line. And it's another one of those ones where you don't even have to be dead in behind because you got second at the top. So if you roll half in behind, still keep a good piece of the button, it's tough for Stephanie to go after it. She'd have to probably draw cold to what she could see of the button.
All depends on where this one ends up.
Yeah. First 3 ends did not really go her way, but if Xenia Schwaller can make a nice hit and roll here, she's got a chance perhaps to get right back to even.
So Schwaller. Big positive release there. They're on it right out of her hand.
That is curling hard considering how much handle she's got.
And because of all that handle, it gears really far. But she does still lie 1-2.
Well,
and with that, the force is on.
Yeah, she was always going to have the force here because the stone at the top was buried. Like even if you roll just to the edge of the 12-foot somewhere and leave them second, I don't think you're running it back unless it's a shot for 3. And even then, it's, what does it look like, about an 8-foot run back? Yeah, they might have. We're not going to find out.
The guy playing in our earlier game would have done it. So Stephanie Schmidt needs to touch the 8-foot final stone. Just walking it down the sheet, keeping it clean. They seem to like it. And with good reason. Put that single point on the board. Team Englot leads 3-1 after 4. Schwaller has the hammer when we return after this on Curling Stadium.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Welcome back to Swift Current. It's the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. And we do have a showdown here in the women's final. It's Michelle Englot with a 3-1 lead over Xenia Schwaller. Dave Schmel, joined by Shawn, Joyce here. And all of you watching on Curling Stadium. Been a great time bringing you all the action this week. And we still have more to come tomorrow. We'll decide the men's champion tomorrow.
Englot team brought their 2 stones into the forefoot. They've got the corner guard, but they're going to deal with the ones in the middle first. And looks like they've opted to just play the little tap back on the shot stone. Maybe on a bit of an angle, try to get a pocket back there.
Both brushers on this now.
Don't know if she's got the weight to tap it back.
Don't know if they have the weight to get there at all. Just come down to the corner.
Yeah, it's not horrible because, you know, for Michelle to move it at all, she's going to have to move her rock behind the tee line. She doesn't want to do that. Going to throw the guard for now. But the guard could always be run back.
So, shot on the way from Ashley Williamson. You see some hardy souls still in the bleachers.
Guarded the red one. There's still a piece of the yellow exposed. That's what Xenia's looking at. Tough shot, but it's there. It's almost like a draw weight split, right? You want to hit just a piece of that yellow, have your shooter roll over to the 8 foot on the other side.
So the shot's on the way from Ryder. Working it hard to hold this line. And they are going to end up losing their shooter. Will they? I think that is biting.
I think so too. Done.
You see a
I'm not as sure.
of white.
I'm not as sure now.
You see a sliver of white, but the camera is more directly over the button, so good chance it's on there. I would say that you know, you definitely would put the stick to it most likely. Some ways away from that mattering, but it has to stay in your mind.
Well, that's not very close to what they had in mind. Comes up short of the hog line. Another chance. Basically, it's the same shot, a little bit deeper this time.
That would put Schwaller in a very good spot this end if this can be made. Seem to be a little bit happier with the line now.
It's got a little bit more room, but a little bit less weight, so this is going to finish and shouldn't roll as far.
Sneaks it past, pushes it out, gets a little roll, and they lie 1-2 and something.
Stone that was just thrown at the back of the forefoot is open, so they're going to try to hit and roll under. Now, I'm not positive by the time they roll under if they would still be shot rock. I can't really worry about that for now.
Stone away from Sarah Miller. Needs to sit. It does for second shot. It's chaseable.
It is, and it's hard to draw to beat it. And you could play the wide in-turn draw, try to sit on the face of it. Problem is that it would be there for Michelle to follow it down again, and she might be shot rock if you make it twice in a row. If you could get the flop to the outside, especially, I mean, you don't ever want to roll out, but if you could roll right into the 12-foot, it almost doesn't matter what Michelle does on the next one. You'd be able to draw around something.
So Gaffner going for the takeout all the way around the outside here. Passed him, no problem.
Yeah, she actually gets really close to the nose.
Question is, now certainly can get shot stone for Michelle Englot.
Yeah, even with a nose hit on this, she'd be shot. Tough to get to the inside. This might be one where you just get to the nose, let them play it again, and it's big pressure on both teams, really, because the first time somebody rolls 2 inches to the outside, they're going to leave a chance to roll underneath.
Already trying to carve this one. This one might be too far out.
This one might not make contact. Sarah has had trouble with her in-turn hits in this game. She's been wide on, well, that's 4 now that I can think of.
And that will bring down a team meeting here to see how to maximize this opportunity.
Come around the wider corner guard. That's one of the options. I don't like somebody talked about just coming to the 12-foot on the center line. I don't like that because she comes around, it comes to the back one. I think she'd be shot rock and your shooter would be in the way.
There's a nice view from there. So there's your option A.
Yeah, you hate to leave her that draw to the back. Now, there's 2 schools of thought there. You love it if that's all she's got left. I mean, if you bury this and she's playing that draw against possibly 4, that's a good situation, unless she makes it. If you bury this, she might have to play it, right?
Absolutely.
She could freeze the top one, too. Freeze the top one probably, well, it might not even be second. She might have to freeze the back one.
So here comes the stone from Gaffner.
It's got a lot of room.
A lot of room. It's taking the curl nicely now. Finish it off, get it home. Pretty good.
Stephanie's looking at the freeze. Michelle's wondering if they can see enough of that to make the hit and roll over towards the middle. There is a chance it jams on the one on the back. Now, if that one on the back's already in, they don't care if it jams. In fact, it might just chip it and get rid of it. She can see a little bit less than half. Mind you, I don't imagine they're going to throw a big weight at this. You throw it with hack, hit what you could see, you're probably rolling close to frozen. Just throwing the in turn and going to hit it thin, so she should roll fairly steep. Should get close to that back one.
We've seen a lot of shots made from the center out this week. It's been great ice conditions allowing that.
If you could ever get to half of it. Now, the question is going to be with the weight she's throwing. If you get to the half of it, you might be able to roll to the back forefoot around the guard on the other side. The question will be with the weight she's going to throw, would you roll that far with half a rock?
So here's the first from Stephanie Schmidt.
This is a little more weight than I thought they were playing.
Past the guard, no problem. Now we're going to make contact. We do.
Thin.
And right
Really
back
thin.
on over, and you get the double takeout out of it. How about that? Stephanie Schmidt.
Yeah, it looks nice. I'm not sure if it's as effective as they would have liked it to be, because now that stone at the back is open. I'm a little surprised they're looking at rolling towards the corner. Maybe that red is out.
Well, if it's out, then that was an even better shot then. So now there's less stones available.
But I'd be tempted to try to roll the other way if you think it's in. And not to roll behind, but to roll it past the guard the other direction.
Right.
And then there's no chance of any kind of double, because you roll broomside on this, even a rock and a half, with where she can't roll back to be shot. If that red's in, she's going to leave it as a fairly easy double. Or if it's out, she doesn't even have to play that.
So Schwaller with her first.
With the rotation she throws, she might get this to roll a long way. Can she get it behind the cover? Oh, well, she didn't hit it very far off the nose.
Very close to the nose.
Yeah, and that leaves enough room. I think she can roll behind cover and still be shot rock.
That's what Michelle likes. From this angle, it looks like that backbiter is out.
It's a couple of the Schwaller shots that just have made me think that they think it's out.
So Stephanie Schmidt with the final stone for Team Englot.
Plan B now, it's not going to get across the face, so they're trying to roll towards that other red stone, maybe in behind the corner.
They do. It's at least half under.
We'll see now. If you're going to play at it, though, you think that red one is in, or at least it's close enough to measure. Because if you thought it was out, you're just drawing here for two.
Just draw, yeah, for sure. So Xenia Schwaller and the team from Zurich, Switzerland, they have one in their pockets, making a play to get at least two.
Yeah, unless she makes, if she makes this hit, we're going to get to find out whether that rock's in the rings or not.
Final stone in the fifth. Off and on, it appears to be close.
Once they know they're by, they'll switch, try to get as close to the nose as they can. Looks pretty good.
They get the carve, they made the hit, so it's 1 and 2, and let's find out.
I know Michelle really well, and I've made comments like this before to her face, and I get away with it. So I'm going to say she called for younger eyes to look. And I don't think she liked what the younger eyes said, so she called other eyes over to look.
Now we're just going to get the biter bar.
I think they are going to get the stick and measure it. Just everybody go over and stand by it, and maybe somebody can trip and touch it, and then it won't matter. That's the thing. And I get it. Everybody's curious, and you see it all the time where everybody wants to go over and look. But you really, kids watching at home, don't do that. You don't belong over there. Once you've decided to measure, there's no point in everybody going over there. The minute somebody touches it, you've just made a mess of the whole situation.
So here we go.
It looked like it got stuck on the way by.
It did.
So I believe it's 3 points.
We'll be back after this on Curling Stadium.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Welcome back to Swift Current. It was a score of 3 for Schwaller, and they have the 4-3 advantage now. Michelle Englot has the hammer here, and as we always say, the all-important 6-10, Shawn, Joyce.
Yeah, so many of these teams geared towards getting the hammer in the even end, even right from the first end, but you get down to the 6th end of an 8-end game, you kind of figure you've got 2 hammers left to your opponent's 1. They stopped sweeping on that like they were hoping it was going to stop just short of the rings. It did slide in. Not the end of the world. I mean, there are teams that probably would have called for both rocks into the rings there, but it does allow Michelle to make a play on the reds right away.
So the skipper's going to take a throw at it. This one takes the curl now.
Catches them both, moves them both, and does the shooter stay out? It does. So it's still in the free guard zone. Oh, bonus.
That is super fantastic. I think that was Xenia going back and just counting the rocks again to make sure she couldn't move it. Not sure exactly what they want to do here. It looks like they're just going to throw center.
Might be the best bet for now. It takes away any chance to play that split for now. As long as you're on the center line, she can't really get to it. Needs to get this to the center line. Needs it to stop short of the rings, too.
It just does, but yeah, you have the tap up available. Don't know if you can get the split to go through.
Nope. Should probably try to get this close to the nose. That way it's there again.
On the way from Williamson, you hear them saying back 4.
Back 4 is good weight for a tap because you're going to lose a little bit of weight in the transfer.
That's pretty accurate weight call there. So good setup initially here for Team Englot. Schwaller's going to try to wrap one around. Fabian Ryder. Her vice skip throwing second. Getting caught in some of this outside stuff. Really working hard to drag it in. And great effort by the front end to bring it that deep.
Better technique on that one. They had one earlier on. They were trying to carve it over and really weren't in front of the rock at all. Weren't doing anything. She's got to a much better position on that one. Managed to drag it in and get the curl. Some of those little technical errors are just what happens when you play this many games over the last, whatever it would be, 10 days, I guess, for them.
This is their 6th game of this weekend.
Yeah. I think they must have had that many last weekend, too. Or they might have had the bye, actually, last weekend. Oh, trying to remember which draw was which. Actually, they played round robins last weekend, didn't they? So they would have had to play. But they qualified undefeated, so they were into the semifinal right away. There weren't 8 qualifiers last weekend on the women's side. I think it was just 6. And you know what? You start talking about all these games, and you'll get people that will once in a while tell you, "Oh yeah, but these players are athletes. They're in shape." I got news for you. Yes, they are athletes. Yes, they are in shape. It still hurts. Back in the days when I used to play competitively, and we used to have to deal with trainers and things like that, I've had athletic therapists actually tell me our sport is stupid. Because we ask our top athletes to compete for, in this case, these teams are all playing their 3rd game of the day. There is no other sport that asks you to do that. We're competing for upwards of 8 hours in one day. And we play more than we train as it is, because a game is 2.5 to 3 hours long. And if you're playing, again, 6 of those in a weekend, like, it's pretty unlikely that you've had 18 hours of practice this week, but you've had somewhere between 15 and 18 hours on the ice playing games. It's just hard on the body. The body's not meant to do what curlers ask the body to do.
And on the front end, it's just a little shy of 2 miles up and down for an 8-end game. So you multiply that by 3, it's 6 miles. Add the sweeping in. That's a lot of physical effort.
And everything is tired right now on both of these teams. They don't mind the height on that, but it over curled a little bit. There's room to get to shot stone.
There's room to get to shot stone and even bury a little bit. Big shot here for Miller on the out turn.
I'm not entirely sure she got out to the broom on this one. They're going to have to go.
Can they get it by? No.
They get the bonus bite of the rings. Yes, I think they did.
Oh my goodness, they did.
Xenia Schwaller, just, you could see that look of frustration. It was almost like, what do we have to do to buy a break? Scary to throw a straight guard now, because there is still that tight yellow that could be run back, and it could be for 3 now.
That look from Xenia Schwaller reminded me of old cartoon where Wile E. Coyote sees the boulder coming down and puts up the little umbrella.
I can't blame her for that one. I mean, that was a big spin to get into the rings.
It was
that's
huge.
A little, yeah, it's like, oh, come on. Give me a break, please.
Big old boulder and the itsy bitsy umbrella.
They want to sweep this a little to bury or to get the line better, but they didn't want it any deeper.
So
if she makes this run on the yellow, you might be happy that the guard's deeper. At least you'll have a run back.
Definitely the way you want to go at it. This one's over curling a good deal.
Yeah, she hasn't had that happen on an in-turn yet.
Might be a little bit of overcorrection happening there.
Well, suddenly, because those two on the right-hand side, as we look from the hack view, are overlapped. If you get this one on the center line, you're in a steal situation all of a sudden. There's really nothing left that she could run in, except for red ones, and that's a little dangerous. I'm not seeing a real good draw path. She's not going to have anything she could easily double peel here either, if this guard is about halfway on the center line.
So first stone for Schwaller.
Probably tighter than she would have liked. Definitely tighter than she would have liked. It's a double to sit 2.
Yep, this is going to give them an out.
Double to sit 3, actually. That yellow on the side is biting.
I'm sure Schwaller is definitely aware of that.
Yeah, she doesn't look happy. She knows that was the wrong way to miss it. She's got perfect line. It just needed to be 8 feet short of that.
Yep. So Schmidt really has to make this one here.
Yeah, she does. And I mean, it's not a gimme. You've got to be fairly thin on the second red, or you might not get it under the yellow on the side. You know, if you're a little bit broomside, you could very easily leave this red in the rings. You could even leave it in the rings behind cover on the corner. And if you over curl by a sliver, you don't catch the second one. Straight backs are never as easy as they look.
Stephanie Schmidt with her first.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a set. This is going to need to come up. I think they went plan B to get it over the top, but
well, they do lie 1.
Their first thought was to come around, which is an aggressive call. You know, you come around that you don't really expect to steal anyway. You hit the one on the side, you've got the force. How are you getting to where you're tapping the ice?
You'd have to come all the way around the outside, I would think, wouldn't
If
you?
you're coming around the outside and you don't get it buried, you're leaving her a double for 2. You can't play that.
Yeah.
It's tough to make the draw through the middle. I think you have to hit the yellow.
It would seem to be the more sensible call.
This is risky.
So you see Schmidt's going to go over there, and they're going to try to go school in the line here a little bit. Xenia Schwaller for going what would be probably an easy probably what would be an easy force for an aggressive steal.
Well, I mean, you're still not in a good steal position. You're edge of the forefoot at best. She comes through the middle and draws to the open side of the forefoot.
Right.
Do you really expect her to miss that?
Her last to the 6th. This is way out there.
And it's got a curl.
That is never coming back.
I mean, she can follow that down and tap it for 2.
Just gonna throw just through the house weight.
Yeah, the tough part for Stephanie is, I mean, yes, she did go over there and watch the line, but her rocks are not going to run the same as Xenia's.
True, Xenia throws a lot of rotation.
Yeah, so hers will run a little bit straighter, and hers will carry farther. Like that's the one nice thing about that extra rotation. Her brushers can take her rocks a lot farther. Didn't help her on that one.
So Stephanie Schmidt for Team Michelle Englot. Chance to take 2 here in 6. Final stone.
Already sweeping for curl.
It's getting closer. Looks like it's going to be just fine. And it is. Hang 2 for Englot. It's 5-4 after 6. We'll be back for end number 7 on Curling Stadium right after this.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome back to Swift Current. It's end number 7 of the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. Brought to you, of course, by RBC Dominion Securities and our other sponsors, thanking S3 Systems, Aztec Safety, Sasktel, Hardline, Asham, and Bumper to Bumper. Big deuce there in the 6th, Shawn, Joyce, for Team Englot.
Yes, it was a big deuce, and a deuce that didn't have to be surrendered. They actually could have made the hit on the open stone and just let her have the single. Would have been a good spot tied up here with the last rock. Not in a horrible spot. As it is, you've got last rock here. They'd love to get a blank out of this end. The first guard wasn't quite on the center line, so they were able to tight ice it trying to come by. They rub and get it a little farther off the center line. Unfortunately, if you're going to do that, you'd like to put it in the ring so you could at least hit it on the next one. Shooter ended up in the ring, so Michelle gets a chance to hit it.
Which she does, and is that left as a guard? Didn't
I
see
think
the
it
depth.
is. Yep. No, they're both just in front of the rings. Now that's a relatively simple double peel on the next one, but this is still just the fourth stone of the end. You can't play it yet. You might, there's far enough away, you might be able to make the double and rattle through into the rings. And then you should have a chance perhaps to blank this end, and they'd be good with that, I think. Get the blank here, take the last rock coming home. Seventh end here of, well, hopefully 8, perhaps 9, and God forbid 10.
I know, I am Mr. 10 ends. So you see that Englot stone. Now it's been advanced up to the 8 foot, and
yeah,
they're going to put a second one in.
They're okay with it. There's still nothing overlapped. You come in at that high, you might actually leave a triple on the yellows. If Schwaller's thinking about the blank, and you'd have to think that at least it's in their mind, the fact that all of these rocks are grouped near the center line and nothing's overlapped yet, they're going to have chances to get rid of some rocks. Starting here, where they might be able to get rid of all 3 of them, all 3 yellow ones.
Right. So you just thwack it right there, right?
Yeah, 2 for sure. I don't know where the top one's going to go. It might come more straight back. It might not get to the one in the 8 foot, but get rid of the 2 guards for now.
It says plenty of pace, trying to hold it straight. Get the 1, 2, 3. Adios, sayonara, and arrivederci. So now way closer to that blank end.
And getting closer still. This might come down to the fact that red guard's so tight they don't want to come around it, have the run back, and be looking at 2 or maybe 3. So they're just going to make the hit on the guard. They'll try to stay there, but then Schwaller will call for the peel on the guard and will be headed towards the blank. Not going to stay there.
No, they are not. Will they stay in the rings? They will, and no surprise here. Take it out.
Yeah. No, now it'll be just both teams trying to exchange hits. They might try to roll different spots in the house, see if you can't get a bit of a mistake. Mind you, a rollout probably doesn't help even at this point in time. I can't see either team throwing a guard now. Michelle Englot is a veteran. And you could just tell when she didn't walk up to hit that right away, she's already thinking, are we better off to give up 2 than to let them blank? So she's going to play the center guard. Schwaller likely peels it. If you go right through to the end that way, Michelle might play some kind of a freeze or even a come around on that redstone with the last one rather than hit it, because she'd rather give up 2 than let them blank.
So very interesting strategy here.
Well, I mean, she knows they're likely peeling the guard right now anyway. I can't see Schwaller's switching gears because the second shot stone, or what would be second shot stone if she comes around, is out in the open. So she's never getting more than 2. If she was going to try for 2, she could have done that earlier in the end. The guard was good once, it's probably good again.
That indeed is the call. And the guard goes up, and the broom goes down for the peel. So Zurich, Shawn, was founded more than 2,000 years ago by the Romans. The original name of the town was Turicum.
Okay, I've got Google too. Well, I don't think they wanted to stay there. Still, it looks like Steph's going to throw one more center guard at least. You throw the center, you expect them to peel it again, and then does she have enough air on that to hit and roll a corner under the red and maybe get the force?
She just might.
If you don't want to let them blank it, do you even take that chance? Because if you hit it on the nose, there's definitely going to be a blank available.
So a very interesting game of cat and mouse here.
Oh, she's hitting it now. I thought with where the broom was, they were playing the guard one more time. And this does not look like they're trying to roll underneath.
Nope, they got the hit. And they'll roll all the way now. Does Schwaller ever try to draw underneath her own guard?
Oh, that's the interesting thing here. Not sure what the conversation was about there. Were they wondering if they touched the guard on the way by, or?
Yeah, I took a peek at the YouTube feed and couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, they were nowhere near the guard. I don't think anybody touched it brushing on the way by.
Maybe they're just getting their beverage order in before last call in the lounge.
Does look like she's going to play the come around. Oh no, she's just playing the draw to the middle. I was a little surprised when I saw her set up for the out turn, but she's playing the wide out turn towards the center line. Boy, you don't want to be short here. Stephanie will try to come around it, get her force that way.
So Stephanie's going to have the opportunity to draw underneath cover here and put the force on, and would give them the hammer tied coming home.
Doesn't even mind really if she's deep on this one, if she has to be. It's not about stealing, it's about getting the force.
So final stone from Schmidt.
Ton
This
of
one
room
needs
by
to
the
go
guard.
a little bit. Yeah, ton of room. Keep on going. Try to get a piece under. Not going to get there. So the blank is available. Final stone of the 7th.
Big weight, a little bit of an in-out release. It should stay straight. They're sweeping for curl right out of her hand.
And
she's
she
right
flashes it. And it will be a steal of 1 for Englot. Schwaller has a hammer down 2 when we come back for end number 8 here from Swift Current.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back to the 8th end action of the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown here from Swift Current. Dave Schmel and Shawn Joyce here with you. James Gordon handling our production this evening. And it is Michelle Englot holding a 2-stone lead. Xenia Schwaller with the hammer in end number 8. Needs 2 to tie and 3 to win.
Brought the first one in. I would imagine they're trying to come right down on top of it with this one. Saw the corner guard thrown up, and you kind of expect another corner here. So you come right in with this one, and then after the second corner is made, then you might think about guarding these ones. You've got rocks in the middle now that Schwaller's going to have to deal with at some point in the end. You throw that one in, you're actually almost hoping she goes after the ones in the rings. If she does that, she's only got one guard for the rest of the end. She's not going to be fooled by that. She's throwing the corner guard, and in this case, they're playing guards on opposite sides. It's funny, in a lot of previous events this year, I've seen a lot of teams, when they want to play the double corners, they play them tight and long on the same side to make sure there's a draw path open on one side or the other. This weekend, I've seen a lot of the split house, which is more the traditional way to play it. It's just the evolution of the strategy. It seems that it's been going the other way in the last couple of years.
So here's Ashley Williamson. Delivering the fifth right at the end.
Yeah, there's times where just because of how good these players are and what the rules allow you to do, you almost feel like, okay, just put the first 5 rocks wherever you want them and then let's start playing. Because that's essentially what's happened here. They just put the first 5 exactly where it was scripted to be, and now the decisions have to come really for both teams. Schwaller's going to try to deal with the middle all at once by the looks of it.
Not laying a broom to it.
It's got to be just a shade off the nose to make this. She'll get the 2 in the rings. And really the other one spills open. That's a pretty good result. And left another guard out there, which when you're trying to perhaps score 3, you didn't want to lose the shooter.
Michelle's going to play right back to the middle.
Yeah, really her choices here are either to draw or start peeling guards. There's 3 guards out there. There's no real obvious double.
This one buries nicely.
Yeah, they would like that a little deeper. I mean, she's got the double off the yellow and she's stuffed behind the guard. Don't even have to play it yet. I mean, it might be there later. Yeah, I don't like that because that takes away your in off towards shot rock.
You like to draw, yeah, you like to draw around the one on the right as we're looking at
the other corner, just because I'm not sure you want to disturb this rock. You've got it for the double. You could play the double right now, or you come around the corner and leave the double for later.
They're going to play downway at this one. They know they're by, try to carve it over. They get there and they get just a scudge of it under cover, but you can see at least half of that from the hack.
Michelle knows she's got shot rock in the center. You could chase that one behind the corner. You can't see all of it. It's a higher degree of difficulty on a shot like that. Just make the guard here and force Schwaller to play the harder shots for now.
So here's Sarah Miller. happy with that rock placement, Shawn?
No, I think you would have liked to have overlapped it a little bit and probably a little bit higher, but even if it corner freezes, it's not bad. I mean, it's all right. You've still protected a piece of shot rock, but if this run back is made, it's going to be pretty hard to stop the deuce, and you're going to have to work on trying not to give them a shot at 3.
Here's Gaffner, and they are on this one right away. That is well thrown.
Yeah. Yellow run back is there.
You still chase the other one you can see some of.
Yeah, I'd have to see the overhead. I don't think you could see enough of it likely to make the double. I think they're too flat. Mind you, you could hit and roll behind everything, like even behind that red in the 8-foot.
That'd be okay.
Yeah. So a quick look at the overhead. I don't think the double's there. I think if she stuffs this right back, she will be shot rock. This is plan B.
And they do get the one on the outside.
That is an excellent plan B. What awareness from the veteran skip, Michelle Englot, realizing they were nowhere near the shot, plays a plan B, stuffs it over on the one in the corner, and roll the shooter over. So both reds are open now. But this is a chance to hit and sit 3. I think they're playing a harder shot than they have to if they're trying to roll towards the red. Yes, the red's open in the port, and Michelle Englot can come through the port, try to hit and roll behind cover, but you're always going to have something you could run in for the win.
She just played the open yellow right now, right?
Yeah, but what she's talking about is you play the open yellow, and she was talking about trying to roll over into the side of the red and push it over in behind cover. I'm not sure you don't leave a double doing that. I mean, even if you make the roll into the side of the red, your shooter is going to be partially exposed, and you could very easily leave a double. Like if you roll the other way behind the corner guard, Michelle's going to have to play the port to get at shot rock. And yes, she's got a couple of rocks she could roll behind, but you're always going to have some kind of run back for the win. And that's assuming she rolls it perfectly. They did settle on hitting the yellow and roll behind the corner guard. Michelle likely going to try to hit and roll behind her own corner guard. At least that makes the run back tougher. You probably chase on the first one, and if you rub the yellow and end up in the rings, that works too.
Stone away from Gaffner. They're going to make the hit. They get it half under.
It's probably enough. It's risky to go after it. Boy, I don't think you want to roll behind the red. You could hit the one in the 12-foot and try to roll behind the 2 on the corner.
If you hit that one that was just thrown, doesn't it go onto the one in the corner?
It might. But boy, if it dead stuffs onto it and you roll out, that's not helping you either. she's not likely ever going to guard the one in the 8 foot, so you don't necessarily have to play it on this attempt. Boy, it would be brave to try to roll behind the center, because then she's running the red back and she makes it, sits 3. I don't know what you do with the next one.
So you see Michelle tapping the hit and roll towards the center.
I'm a little surprised they haven't looked at the one on the outside. If you make the hit off that stone, roll into the side of the 8 foot behind the 2 reds, the one on the 12 foot and the corner guard, there's no run back to get that one.
And yeah, it's probably be very difficult to even chase it.
They're talking about going after the one they can only see half of it. And you saw the little gesture from Stephanie. Even if they crash the guard and it comes across, that might give them a double guard with it. Again, you know that Schwaller's not going to guard that stone in the 8 foot, so you could play a hit and roll on the last one. And if you crash the guard on this one, you could end up coming over and putting a second guard up there so that when you make the hit and roll, you'd be buried under something staggered. You're still going to try to make the shot direct to the red stone in the rings, but you got a plan B, and that probably was what settled the decision for them. You like to have options.
So here's Schmidt with Team Englot's first skip rock in the 8th. Got to get past the guard. Oh, no, you didn't.
And didn't hit anything.
That is very bad.
Well, I mean, is it? You've still got the hit and roll. I mean, you need her to miss the run back. Yeah, I don't think you want to be right beside the other red. Then she just plays the double. If you're top of the 4 foot, she's just going to try to hit and roll on top of you. Then you can't play the run back.
Trying to come up with their path to victory here in Swift Current. Would be 2 straight wins in a row for Team Schwaller, winning last week's event. Yet to drop a game over this 2-week span.
Yeah, I understand their dilemma. Like, where do you put this? If they're talking about guarding, I don't think there's any chance I'm guarding here. She just hits the open one and tries to roll in all the way behind what you just threw. But where do you put one to bring one into the rings? I guess, probably the best place for it, as I'm looking at it now, is freeze to the one in the 12 foot. Freeze to the face of it. She's not going to have a triple, I wouldn't think. So she's still going to hit the one in the middle, and then you got to run back where you don't even have to stay. I'm just having a hard time seeing any other spot where she could put it where she doesn't make Stephanie's shot perhaps a little bit easier. With the rotation that Xenia throws, is she looking at, can she make that port with enough to split the red? get it out of the open. Not 100% sure, but that might be what she's looking at. Can she do that? I don't know. I don't know why they're looking at a guard. That does not help you.
You throw a guard, you can hit the one all the way out in the wings and roll underneath a whole lot of mess.
Yeah, she's probably not going to hit the one in the wings now, but she's got plenty of air on the shot stone too. You throw a guard, she just hits and rolls anywhere over there, and I don't know what you've got. You know, it's maybe some kind of run back if she rolls far enough, maybe not even that. I would much rather, if you're going to go that way, draw right to the face of your own. Even that's not bad. The little tap changes the angles. I don't think you want to be short here. If you could lock a freeze on it, just a little bit on the center line side, then she's got nothing off that rock. And if she makes some kind of hit and roll behind cover, it's a run back where you don't even need to stick the run back stone to win.
Looks like, I think they settled on coming down to it.
Yeah, they talked about a tap too. A tap works depending on the angle you get. I mean, you could very easily leave a triple with the angle.
On the carve. They're there. They're going to get a little split. And they lie 4.
Boy, it's close to a triple. Get to the inside of the one she just threw, come across, and catch the shot stone. Now the question is, are you thin enough? It might go under. It's hard to tell from here. Here's the other thing. You could play the hit on, again, the hit on the shot stone and try to roll in between the two reds over on the side. Like, it's pretty hard to roll completely out over there. I mean, I guess you could go right in between them. Just playing the draw. Boy, this is tough to get it into a good spot. There's going to be short runs on the ones in the rings if you're into the 4-foot. I think I'd be playing the hit and roll off the one that was just thrown. You play the hit and roll, maybe make the double or hit and roll to the corner of the red stone in the 8-foot, because if you're sitting on the corner of it, how does it clear the two reds on the other side?
How indeed.
It's tough to get this in a spot where she can't get it out. And again, she's got 4 in the rings. She doesn't need to keep all of them.
Stephanie Schmidt. With her last. They need to out count 2 of them. They are going to be through the port.
Yeah, they're going to
Little
rub
wick.
them. That's going to put them in behind the other red. Might have stopped just in time.
They are shot stone at the moment.
Yeah, I think it stopped in time that they've got to run the guard back, because you can't really get to a lot of the outside of that red stone in the 8-foot. It might have been the best she could do with it, because if she gets by the red, doesn't rub it over and stays straighter, the slash on that red that she touched is going to be a lot easier. And she can't quite get to the slash on the other one. So it's straight back for the win.
Xenia Schwaller. Zurich, Switzerland. Push it straight back. Doesn't even have to stay. Just needs to hold 3 of them for the win. Final stone of the 8th.
Pressures have been off and on. It's close.
Now we're carving it. On it, straight back. You tick it. Got it to go far enough. It's got to go. It's got to go. And no.
It's 2, which means an extra end.
It's going to be a score of 2 for Xenia Schwaller. And we will go to an extra end here in Swift Current. We'll be back right to this. You're watching Curling Stadium.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
We're back in Swift Current. It's bonus curling time here. 9th end of the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. Dave Schmel and Shawn Joyce. And you get even more of us.
You said we're back in Swift Current, and the first thought that came to my mind is, when did we ever leave? When do we get to leave? It's been a long day.
Yep. Men's final tomorrow will be at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 Central. Although,
I've had
some thinking time, it might be today.
2 extra end games today, and every one of mine has gone down to the wire. So I can't complain. I had an event a few weekends ago. Can't even remember which one it was or how many weeks back, and it's probably not fair to say that anyway, but I had 4 or 5 games that weekend. Nothing went beyond 6 ends. So, this is a little bit better when you're broadcasting. You just never want to see a lopsided game when you're announcing. It's tough to call those. Maybe because I've played too many of them, and I know how the team on the losing side feels.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly not comfortable to call a blowout. I'll put it that way. And we don't have that here. We have a tied up affair after 9. The goal is for a team to have one in the painted circles after all 16 have been delivered.
I did say something about, heaven forbid, possibly 10. Let's hope I was not prophetic.
If you were prophetic, I would say you're pathetic. Here we go. Team Schwaller needs to steal here.
Yeah, they'd be looking for the second guard here, and they'd like to get this to the center line again. Needs to stop. They can't really sweep it to curl because it's dangerously close to in the rings.
It did stop just short, it appears.
You could play the tick, or they could come around.
You could certainly take that for sure. Seems to be the shot that Michelle wants.
Yeah, you kind of had to expect that. Most of these career skips, and myself included, try to tell my lead this is an easy shot, so it's pretty hard to not throw it when you get the chance. Then you find out it's not as easy as you thought.
And they will get the tick. Push it into the rings.
Now she gets to turn to the teammates and see, I've told you that shot's easy for years. I don't know why you ever doubted me.
Schwaller needs more guards.
Yeah, a little surprised that they switched turns here. Michelle wanted to peel the tight one. They feel like it's tougher than they want to go after, so they're going to peel the high one towards the red. Even if you get the one in the rings, they'd like to get two reds moving on this one.
On the way from Williamson, the peel is made.
Thin and over the top of everything. Now I think you're guarding the guard for your life, just so the double peel is never going to be easy. The question is for how long, because if you're double guarded here and all you've got left at the end is to come around that tight guard from the intern side, you make it really good and it's a short run on the yellow. So do you have to do something with that yellow, maybe on skips first, maybe even on thirds last? Because if you wait too long, Michelle Englot will switch gears too. She's going to peel this one for sure, and I would think at least one more.
And here comes that peel attempt.
Yeah, you throw one more guard, she'll peel it one more time anyway, and then the decision might have to come. And the reason the decision might have to come on thirds last is because Michelle's going to know that if she waits till skips first, Xenia Schwaller's going to make some kind of play in the rings. So she might make some play other than peel the guard on Sarah's last one before Xenia makes a play in the rings.
But for now, we just...
Yeah, she's got to peel the guard on this one. And Schwaller may well play one more guard. But if she does so knowing that Englot might... Well, that's going to change the whole strategy discussion. Now she's coming around.
Yep, two guards up there.
Well, and she's sitting second and, well, what would be second and third if she makes the come around, so she doesn't even necessarily have to be perfectly buried. They can't really go after it with the last one because they can't afford to roll out. Now, there is always going to be the out-turn draw to the button. Unless, heaven forbid, you get another miss and there's a chance to take away that path.
I'm going to make a bold statement right now that there will be a stone touching the paint after they're all delivered.
Yeah, well, I didn't think there was any way to only score 2 in the last.
This one is quite light. Not even going to get there.
Yeah, that doesn't kill them yet at this point in time because they've still got come around. She can't peel all the guards now, and I think because she can't peel all the guards, it's time to switch gears and try to get one in there first. She's still looking at some kind of peel.
Well, you catch the outside of that, you're going to get, it might go right into your own.
Well, yeah, I see what you're talking about. But, I mean, if she gets both of the tight guards off the center line, she won't care that it went into her own because that long guard by itself isn't really protecting a whole lot. I'm just not sure it's really thin to touch the second red. Half a rock on the first one's not touching the second one.
No, you had to. No, it's a quarter. So Sarah Miller has to dial one in here. Big stone. It is really close. No, it does shoot all the way by. So Schwaller's going to come on in here with her first.
This is probably a horrible time to point out that both of these teams needed steals in the final end to win their semifinal games. Does that mean Xenia Schwaller's got her right where she wants her?
I don't think she wanted to be deep there.
No.
So
Stephanie's got to try to get there first.
She gets there first. She might not have to throw her last. It's been a game that's went back and forth. None of these shooting percentages are going to make it to the Elias Sports Bureau, that's for sure. But you always just have to make the next one. You're as good as your last shot. Stephanie Schmidt with the first for Team Englot here in the ninth.
Just really can't be deep here. I mean, if you're not shot rock, but you're sitting just full 8 foot out in the open, at least you've got a rock you could tap into the button with the last one if you had to. They're going to have to go to get by.
Looks like they are by, no problem.
It's holding. It's holding, but the reason it's holding is it might be strong.
And it is going to slide.
I'm not sure I would have swept that back. Once it was far enough back, you could freeze to it for shot. I don't think you needed it any farther back than that.
This is interesting to me here, Shawn, because sure you go ahead and make this, but Team Englot's always going to have that Schwaller rock to play off of, so this has to be in a really good place.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to come all the way back to the yellow when it's that deep. That's why I say I wouldn't have swept it. I mean, if you leave that 3 or 4 inches higher and you freeze right to the face of it, you're on the tee line. Top corner of the button here is probably ideal, but you've got to bury it. Line looks close. This is going to be deep as well.
It is deep and behind the tee line. So here we go. It all comes down to this.
It does look a little easier from the out turn. The only thing is nobody's thrown this turn all end. She can't afford to be on the outside at all on this turn, because if she's on the outside, it stuffs it onto the yellow. That red's not going very far. She's got to get to the nose. Now she can. I mean, her line, she's got the exact same line as the last one. She's good.
So here we go. 4 days of curling. 17 teams. And the 9th game of the weekend for Team Englot, down to just 1 stone in the hand of Stephanie Schmidt. Final stone of the extra. Needs the button for the win. They are both on this hard for line. They're past the first one. Can he get past the second one? Gotta go, gotta go. Keep on moving. You rubbed it. Will it ever spin back? No, it won't. And it'll be a steal of 1 and the win for Xenia Schwaller. They win the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown by a score of 7-6.
Took her an extra end to get the win, but they remain undefeated here in Swift Current. They needed to steal in the last game, and I got to go back and look, see what they did this morning in the quarterfinal. Well, technically they stole in the quarterfinal to win, but they were already up 2 coming home, stole 2 for the win. So they've liked stealing in the last end today, and they're really going to like it here in Swift Current. I would expect this is a team you'd expect to be back next year. You give them a big enough check, they're coming back for next year's event.
And speaking of which, there is the check, and we're going to have that check presentation. We're going to stay here for that.
Somebody with a Jiffy marker needs to fill in that Team Schwaller.
All right, now go team. I can write Team Schmel on that just easily right now.
It's Chris Heichert that went to that. I mentioned him earlier. He's plays with Steve Laycock, but he's the manager at the Swift Current Curling Club as well. So kind of pulling double duty this weekend. Been an exciting day, a lot of good curling. To be fair and honest, the final here, probably both teams would tell you they weren't as sharp as they had been earlier, but it's tough. It's 3rd game of the day, 2nd in a row. Both of them went right down to the wire in the last one, so they only got about a half-hour break, and they've been on the ice other than that for about the last, it was a 5:30 start the last time, so they've been on the ice for about 5.5 out of the last 6 hours, and they're tired. They're tired, and that means you're not going to be quite as sharp as you were through most of the event. But those last couple ends, there were a lot of good shots made.
No, there certainly was. And the play definitely did tighten up at the end, and unfortunately that last draw attempt was just a little bit too tight.
Yeah, when it started to come in and they talked about it being tight, the last two I had thought they were going to curl and the line held. That one just curled a little bit harder. Maybe she's... No, I was going to say maybe she was just a little bit lighter, but she wasn't. She still got to the... Off the rub, got to the back 8, or back 4.
Yeah, the weight was certainly there. They
It
just
was
weren't...
the same.
weren't able to hold the line. So, yes, I mean, you definitely think that Xenia Schwaller might apply for temporary residency in Swift Current.
Well, we got to be careful what we say about that, because that's happened before.
Oh.
You laugh, but it has. Kelly Schaefer was playing with Eve Muirhead in the World Championships here, and still now lives in Swift Current because she married the mayor.
Well, that's one way to do it.
That's where they met, was at the World Championships. And
oh, yeah. You can't fight City Hall, but you can marry it.
Well, and I think she made him quit City Hall. I don't think he's the mayor anymore, but he was at the time.
So there we go. We're making sure we can properly see the sponsor of the event. We thank very much RBC Wealth Management for sponsoring this great event here at Swift Current. It's been supported by the community a great deal. Just as I say that, Chris is ready to knock over the sign.
Chris is wrecking the place, yeah. Got to keep everything handy when they have the other check presentation tomorrow. Won't be quite as long of a day tomorrow. Just 3 draws tomorrow. For the men's, the quarterfinals start at 9 a.m. local time. And it'll be back-to-back after that. Final scheduled for, I believe it's 4:30. You'd think I would know that. Oh, no, it's earlier than that.
4 o'clock.
I feel like that's your time.
It's 5 o'clock my time.
Oh, is it 4 o'clock? Okay, that's a little later than I thought it would be, but that should mean everything stays on time. That's giving 3.5 hours a draw then, so they should be okay, even with tight games. Can tell you while we wait for the presentation here that in the men's draw tonight, Kevin Cooey was a 7-6 winner over Daniel Casper, so Cooey's through to the men's playoffs tomorrow morning. According to my scoreboard, Kelly Knapp and Brent Pierce are playing an extra end. It sounds pretty quiet out there. I wonder if that game's over and the score just hasn't updated. No, they're still playing. And Brad Gushu, an 8-4 winner over Sam Moybrick. So that we know 7 of the teams that are qualifying for the playoffs in the men's side. And by the time we have the check presentation there, you can see the situation that they've got. Knapp needs to steal. And we're on Skip Stones. This might be Kelly's last one. I can't see the rocks in the corner to tell you for sure. Looks like he's playing the little angle run. Knapp's throwing the yellows. Trying to let me count the rocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, he might have 2 left. Looks like he's trying to play the angle run, yellow onto red on the button.
They make that and they leave it a little bit undercover.
Left their shooter in front of everything there. Probably the slash double over the top is the way to go for the Pierce team. I think that's what he's looking at. Hard to tell from this angle. Also hard to tell from this angle. And I've got the other camera view up myself on the YouTube feed. He might be able to go through the port and just pick the yellow out. Might be able to hit enough of it to stay, for that matter. I think that's what he's looking at now. It doesn't really even matter what you can make on this one. The issue is to make sure you got an open shot for your last one if you can. There is one guard out there. Kelly's going to try to get around it with his last one if he can. Somehow or another, even if he has to hit and roll. If you ever were to hit and roll out off that yellow one, Kelly might play the yellow on to red and sit 2. If you try to play the double and you roll out, we could be headed to 10.
Well, they could be headed to 10.
Somebody might want to remind these guys that if you do win this game, you got to play again at 9 o'clock in the morning. So maybe you'd like to move this along. On the YouTube feed, there's a port. He can get through to the shot stone. What it's hard to tell is, can he hit enough of this to stay? And I don't know if he can. I don't know if he wants to. Because if you stay, you're going to roll behind the guard, and then for sure Kelly's probably playing the run back on the yellow onto red, and have it come across into the one you're about to throw. It would be dead buried in the 4-foot. And I don't know that you'd have a draw path, so you might want to just peel this out.
So here's Pierce with his first. Pick off that one in the back.
Well, I think you got to play yellow onto red.
Also entertain the idea of just drawing undercover.
Yeah, I'm not loving that. The question when you play the yellow onto red is, are you just trying to stick it right there, or do you try to roll it in behind cover? Because you could do that, and you're still sitting 2. I like the nose because the draw path is tough. But, the other option is you try to hit it just a little bit on the board side, drive yellow onto red, and then have it spill across to the button. And while they set up for that, I think we're ready for the check presentation now. Or maybe not. Maybe they're waiting for this game to finish.
I've been informed by our studio that they are waiting for the game to be completed. So final stone for Knapp on the way. Jumping on him a little bit. They hit and stick, but it's wide open.
Roll too far.
So it'll be a little hit and stick, a little tap back and stick for the win.
Yeah, it looks like he's playing heavy draw with that ice. Just going to chisel in off of it. Again, hard to tell from the camera angles we've gotten, even from the YouTube feed. I can't tell. Like if he hits it right on the nose, I'm not sure he's shot. In fact, I don't think he is. So he's going to play for the chisel in.
Well, in that case, it was a brilliant leave. Making him throw a tough...
Yeah, it's still a pretty makeable shot. You didn't have to leave him something like this. If you leave the two of them lined up, he's probably got to play a cold draw, and I don't know what kind of draw path he's got left.
So final stone of the extra.
It's essentially played it as a straight draw, but
Just playing as a draw needs to be the 4 foot.
If he'd have driven it straight back, that would have been in the way. Puts it on the button.
And that'll be the win.
And our 8th playoff team on the men's side determined. We'll have the men's playoffs for you tomorrow morning. And now I think we're ready to give.
I'm ready.
Xenia Schwaller the money. She's going to think every time you go to Swift Current, you get a check. A big check with your name on it.
So here we have the check presentation for Team Schwaller from the Grasshopper Club in Zurich. Skip, Xenia Schwaller. 3rd stone, Selena Gaffner. Vice skip and 2nd rocks, Fabian Ryder. And the lead, Selena Reichier. Taking on that check of $12,000. If we take the picture real quick, the date will be correct.
Do they have to cash those checks here in Swift Current, or do they have to take those back to Switzerland with them? Because she's got a couple of them from here.
That might be oversized baggage.
That's what I'm thinking. It's going to cost them extra.
So a big congratulations to them. And we will see you tomorrow. That's all we have from now. For Shawn, Joyce, and James Gordon, I'm Dave Schmel. Thanks for watching. Have a pleasant evening. Good night, everyone.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.